there and welcome back to The Signal Cook. My name is Tiffany and today we're going to be doing a one-pan meal. I am going to be using a bowl to do some mixing, but it's pretty much a one-pot dinner. We're going to be using a couple of ingredients from our store cupboard as well as some fresh ingredients. So let's get into what we're making today. Okay, so our ingredients today, we're going to be using a couple of boneless pork chops. We're going to be using a box of stovetop stuffing. This is turkey flavored. I normally use chicken, but we're going to be using the turkey today. I've got some fresh cut broccoli that I've just cut up. We're going to be using our minced garlic. That is an absolute favorite of mine. I've also got some fresh mushrooms. This is about 4 button mushrooms that I have cut and sliced up. We're also going to be using thyme and sage and onion powder and garlic powder for our seasonings, and then I have a can of cream of mushroom soup, as well as some butter, and then I've sprayed down my pan with oil. So I am going to be doing a one-pan meal, so I've sprayed down my foil-lined pan. I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 for this recipe, and we're going to be cooking for about 30 minutes once we have everything mixed up. So let's get cooking.
Okay, let's get cooking. We're going to start with a little bit less than 1/4 cup of butter. This has been pre-softened. And we're going to add a box of stovetop stuffing. This is turkey flavored. You can absolutely use any of the other flavors. Next, we're going to be adding our seasonings. That's our ground sage, our dried thyme, onion powder, and garlic powder. I'm using less than 1/2 teaspoon of each because our stovetop stuffing already has seasonings in it. This is just to add a little more. Okay, next we're going to be adding some of our minced jarred garlic, and I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons. You all know I love my minced garlic. And I'm going to be adding a whole can of cream of mushroom soup here. This is a 10 to 10.5 ounce can. And this will take the place of the water and the other part of the butter that we didn't add. And then I'm going to be using about 1/2 can of water with this as well, just to try and get a little bit more of that cream of mushroom soup in there. I'm going to be adding my fresh mushrooms. This is about 4 button mushrooms. And you can absolutely add celery, onion, any number of other things as well. Give it a good mixy mix. Now that everything's all mixed up, we're going to assemble. So I have a sprayed foil-lined pan with pork chops. I'm going to be using fresh cut broccoli. You can absolutely use frozen. And we're just going to be arranging that around and on top of our pork chops. And then we're going to be adding our stuffing mixture that has been thoroughly mixed right on top. And we'll spread that to cover everything. Optional ingredient at the end is to add Parmesan cheese right over top for the last 8 to 10 minutes of baking, or even to mix it in with your stuffing mixture. So we're going to give that all spread out nice and even. I'm going to cover it with foil. That way it can help seal in all of those juices with the pork chops and not make it dry. And that goes in an oven at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. Once it's come out, I put that Parmesan cheese so I have that crust on top, and we're going to plate it up. I only had 2 boneless pork chops, so I'm going to go right down the middle. and lift that straight onto my plate.
And that's been today's video. So today we decided to use the pork chops, broccoli, and stuffing to make a one-pan layered meal that is very easy to clean up, especially with sprayed foil. Once you're done, you just ball up the foil and you can toss it. It's a great way to get everything done very quickly. It only took about 35 minutes. I ended up putting Parmesan cheese on at the end and baking that for another 5 to 10 minutes just to get that nice crust. So we used a couple of fresh ingredients, the fresh broccoli, the fresh pork chops, and then we used pantry staples like the box of stuffing and our seasonings like sage, thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, and of course that minced garlic that you know I love. So we used all of that to make a good hearty meal that's very filling. Mine made 2 servings. I was using an 8x8 pan, and then when I plated it up, my plate was about 7 inches across. So it looked like a lot of food on the plate, but it's a very small plate. So mine made about 2 servings, and I'll have the second serving for lunch tomorrow or someday this week. But thank you for cooking along with us. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time on The Single Cook.